What up, though? This is your boy Mike D, host of Wrestling from the 313, and we got another good show today. Officially, as you all see, Joe, Samp, Professor Bear always on the show. So anytime you see the four of us on the show, we will be known as the Main Event Roundtable. So this is another edition of the Main Event Roundtable. Once again, Samp from the Samp and Chance podcast. Joe Monroe, Professor Bear, WSN brothers. We are live on the WSN app, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. So if you're on any of those platforms, make sure you check us out, leave us a comment. And we here to talk some wrestling. How you guys doing?
Brilliant. Thank you again.
No problem.
Hanging in there just like always.
Doing good. Guy had some storms pass through, but doing good. Bear looks like he's about ready to get in this Hall of Fame coming up in July.
Yeah, in a minute we're gonna have to start calling them Hall of Famer Professor Bear. You know what I'm saying? Hey, for real, we got to give him his props. For real.
Yeah.
So let's start the show off, y'all. So of course, to start the week, we got some sad news in the wrestling world. Sabu passed away at the age of 60.
Yeah.
ECW legend, not just ECW legend, but a hardcore wrestling legend. So I'm gonna start off with you, Joe, because I know your show coming up, you're gonna be talking about Sabu. So just give us a little preview, thoughts and memories of Sabu.
I don't want to give too much away. I got great friends, great setup coming up. I got a few spots open, so any of you fellas are more than welcome to join in. But Sabu was 100% an innovator of the style of, quote, hardcore wrestling. And it's not just about weapons. It's not. I mean, this guy, it was agile as all get out. It honestly shocks me that he didn't get either a big run in WCW, because it did end up having a run in WCW, very little, or got a run in WWF Attitude Era, because he would have fit right in 100%. But Sabu was definitely an innovator. But I mean, I'm still kind of like, really, Sabu? He just had his retirement match 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Really? And it's like one of those things, like fate was like, something tells me I don't know if you guys are spiritual or not, but maybe he kind of knew, and he's like, all right, one more last hurrah, that's all I want, give me that. And but Sabu definitely, probably, or not probably, fuck it, 100% was one of the best professional wrestlers, hardcore wrestlers ever, and traveled all over the place. But I'll be discussing more on that Friday.
That's what's up. Sam?
It's Sabu. Everything Joe said times 5. I mean, he was everything that was just said. I can't really say much more than that. I will say, though, that the amount of damage that man took, probably took off a good 15, 20 years of existence, in my opinion. You got to understand the time in which he was performing these acts, the medical staff, everything that these guys have now at their disposal to recover didn't exist, right? It was a bottle of Jack Daniels and a bottle of pills for most of these guys, right? So you want to talk about someone who probably had CTC and, things like that. This is the guy. This is the guy that Nowitzki would want postpartum to examine. True legend. In terms of him having a run in one of the big promotions, there are a lot of guys who didn't want to go because that would inhibit them from what they really wanted to do and how they wanted to perform, right? Why? I've always said that Will Ospreay should be in WWE, but he doesn't want to go there because he'd be restricted. We wouldn't get the Ospreay that we get in New Japan. We wouldn't get, the version of him that we like. And I think this is the case with Sabu as well. And the times that he wasn't there, it felt more of a sentence than it did a freedom of an expression to really express your art form. That's why I see it. Now, in terms of his last match, I don't know if you guys caught the interview with Joey Janela, and he talked about it. Apparently, the man's knees were locked. So at the start of the show, he wasn't even there because he couldn't move. He hadn't even left his house. They gave him some illegal, illegal, illegal version of opium. The guy showed up 2 hours into the show, and the match that you saw was this guy on drugs. And I don't know. I know that he was also dealing with some mental health issues due to the passing of his girlfriend, fiance, I believe. So I don't know what I don't know what the cause of death was, but I mean, I'd say it's broken bones, a broken heart, and just a broken body, man. That's all I can say.
Yeah, definitely. Professor Bear, what's your thoughts?
He was one of those guys that you only had to say his name. And I don't care what type of wrestling that you enjoy, you knew when you heard the name Sabu, you knew what it was about to go down.
Yeah, definitely.
And a lot of people don't realize that his legacy was his uncle was the original Sheik from Detroit.
Yeah.
And if you don't know about the original Sheik, look him up. When you talk about hardcore violence, just anything that has to do with hardcore that you think ECW invented, go look up the original Sheik. He was a master, and that was his nephew.
Yeah.
And he took his nephew on a journey to become who he is today. He named him after one of his favorite characters. It was Sabu, the Elephant Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think of Sabu, I think of not being sad that he passed. And it might sound crazy to some people, but I think he was able to go out the way he would want to go out. He wrestled. Yes, he had problems, and yes, he did drugs. If you were a wrestler anytime starting in the 80s and 90s, man, drugs were just the way most wrestlers coped.
Look at New Jack.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I'm sad that he's gone, but I'm happy that he's at home, because most people and dealing with death, a lot of people don't understand. It's a blessing that you get to be going home. We're not meant to be here forever and ever. So I celebrate the man's life, what he did for ECW, because if it wasn't for Sabu, ECW wouldn't be what it is today. Yes, that's a beautiful picture, and I've seen them add so many different wrestlers on it, and it's just, I always try to, and I celebrate people's life, and I try to be happy because I know they're home. They don't have to suffer. They get to do what they love to do in wherever they land. And you know what? Only thing I can say is thank you, Sabu, for making wrestling what it is today, because
Absolutely agreed.
He meant the world. And you can ask anybody and this is one of the funny things I learned about him. Listen to the Joey Janela talk about everything. And then he took the post down and he said that, Sabu was one of the nicest people he's ever met. He always tried to put people over. And the story he said beforehand before his passing was just to add to his lore, because he said some of that stuff he said wasn't true. So, and just like some of our biggest hardcore guys, Terry Funk, Bruiser Brody, any of those guys have stories that may not be true, but it's the lore and what they brought to the sport, and the way they choose to honor them is to keep another story about them going.
It's like a bunch of fishermen talking about how big their fish were.
Exactly.
I can just imagine Sabu getting into heaven. Terry, up, pow.
Right.
Oh, and
Yeah,
one little thing I found out, and y'all gonna laugh, and this is so just funny. Do you know what his real name is?
Yeah, Terry Crunk or Sunk, something like that.
It's Terry Blanc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just laughed, and I was like, see, nobody can tell me God don't have a sense of humor.
Well, dude, think about it. Everybody that came from the Russians, the Saudis, Abdul the Butcher, all American guys.
Yeah.
Kamala.
Yeah.
None of them
Well,
actually
the original
came from there.
Sheik was an Army veteran. Not many people know that.
Yeah. But
I mean,
talking about heaven, I've always imagined this myself personally. Like, obviously none of us have been there yet, but I always look at heaven as an individual experience, meaning the heaven I will go to will be boxing and wrestling heaven.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so whenever I hear of a wrestler's passing, I don't know why. I don't know. I've done this ever since I was a little kid. So as an example, when Road Warrior Animal died, I just picture it happening in such a way that when he dies up in heaven, Hawk is getting double teamed by some whoever, and all of a sudden the music hits and Animal runs out and the crowd just goes wild. I can't wait to get to heaven knowing that Andre is up there, Gorilla's up there calling the match with Bobby, all that kind of stuff. And then I can go to the next room and watch Muhammad Ali spar with whoever, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then the next room would just be all music. So I've always pictured it this way. So that picture always touches me because I just picture that's how heaven is. You go up and they're all waiting for you, man.
Yes.
Definitely.
And it's nonstop pay-per-views.
Oh yeah.
Don't have to worry about anybody screwing anybody.
What's that say about me? Why didn't I pick the heaven with all the ladies? I picked the heaven with men in their underwear. But that's where I'd want to be. That's where I'd want to be.
I mean, you would have Sensational Sherry and all of them up there.
Yeah, that's very true.
I get it. But here's the thing. They would all be in their prime, though.
Yes.
Right? So Moolah would actually look like a young Moolah, and Mildred Burke and all of them would just all be young. So yeah, probably I'd go up to heaven.
Yeah, real quick, I just want to say I didn't watch too much ECW back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I really got exposed to ECW through WWE when they used to come on Monday Night Raw, whatever. But then as I with the Monday Night Wars and ECW kind of coming into the fold, and knowing about all the other stars, Rhino, Taz, the Dudleys, Sabu was that guy. And I always liked this theme music. I always liked that Arabian little horn or whatever that would play.
Hookah Blues was the name of it.
Yeah. I always loved this theme music, and I always remember him, just the scars that he had on his body, and no matter what, he'll still do this. He's still about to jump and do the little move that he would do with the steel chair, and he's definitely like one of my favorite hardcore wrestlers of all time. Like when I think of him, I think I got him on that list with of course Mick Foley and Terry Funk. That's 1 and 2 right there.
Right.
So
I would probably put Sabu at 3.
Yeah, definitely.
And to think, when we were talking about the Hall of Fame, this is another guy who's not in there.
Well, Sami Zayn, he tried.
He tried. But another, here we go again. And I know we're a wrestling show, but shame on Major League Baseball today.
Oh man.
Yeah, I seen that.
Shame. Shame on Major League Baseball.
Yeah. Yeah, the dude
I'm sorry, man. I gotta say, what a bullshit move.
Oh yeah, I
Okay,
agree.
I have
agree.
to tell y'all, I'm totally out the loop. What happened?
Okay, so Shoeless Joe Jackson, 1908, Chicago White Sox, banned from the Hall of Fame because of gambling, blah blah blah. Okay, Pete
Right.
Rose, same thing.
Right.
They've now lifted the ban to allow them to be into the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
After he died.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah,
bull.
there was some chunks for that.
Now I'm not blaming Manfrey at all because he just came on, but I mean all his predecessors, everybody. I mean, shit, come on, man.
Shoeless Joe, even not just Pete Rose, but Shoeless Joe Jackson. I mean, come on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. 1908, I get it. He's really old now. I get it, but I mean, just the Pete Rose thing, man. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's bull crap.
Yeah.
That's actually a good segue because Pete Rose was a pretty big wrestling fan too. So
Yeah. I just wanted to throw that in there.
All right, shout out to WWE for putting him in the Hall of Fame before he passed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He took his licks.
That's something similar to what I was talking about my wife the other day when I found out Sabu. I was like, guarantee 2 months, they're going to give his Estate of Legends contract, and then we'll be seeing a bunch of elites. We'll be seeing him added to video games.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee you that's what's going to happen, and I think it's a bunch of bullshit.
It's money.
You give the man his credit when he was alive versus, well, we can finally get it now. Let's poach it.
Well, you know what? Let's hope his children can benefit from this.
That's
Right,
what I was going to say. Not all of
And his Haitian wife.
we can't get everybody in the Hall of Fame when we like, but at least make sure his family can benefit from it.
Yeah.
And if they do that, I don't have a problem with it. If the family's okay with
Professor, I agree with you. Not everyone should be in the Hall of Fame, but that man should be in the Hall of Fame.
No. Hey,
that's a given.
I'm not saying he shouldn't be.
No. I know.
Yeah. And if it's helping his family, I think that's great.
Yeah.
Especially the inclusion of TNA now.
Yeah.
He did. Well, we're going to go over that. One of my heck froze over. I'm going to say it. Tanner's going to be on there from Till 5 Wrestling. He's going to be on there, and he messaged me. I didn't even get a chance. He goes, I seen you talking about Sabu. I was like, you're on. He goes, yeah. But we were talking about it last night, actually, about his run in TNA, and we're like, I don't want to get too much into it, but dear God, he did a lot in a short period of time.
Oh, yeah.
In a very short period of time. Yeah, I agree with you, CZ. I hope it's not a legacy wing. I think they did that to the Sheik, his uncle.
Yeah, they did.
He'll be in the legacy wing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell because, and with me doing more studies and stuff, it's the money aspect of it. And Sabu was the original ECW guy, they know they could get some more money from him, so they may put him in the regular and not the.
Again, should have done it when he was alive.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. So, once again, rest in peace, Sabu. A legend that we will definitely miss. And like I said, a lot of hardcore matches going to be going on up in heaven with him and Terry Funk and New Jack.
And one quick thing. Nobody gives him credit. He's been in all the major promotions. Yeah. How many wrestlers can actually say that?
Not just United States, but over.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely. All right, y'all. So a couple weeks ago, WWE made some major releases, big releases. Don't have the list. We'll just go through some of the names. Braun Strowman was a big name. Shayna Baszler, Dakota Kai, Kijana Chance and Kitana Carter. Chance and Carter. Right. Yeah. And then in NXT, you had Gigi Dolan, Cora Jade, Jakara Jackson. Yeah. And the other guy that was in Metaphor, Aura Mensah.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. So real quick, I'll start with you, Professor Bear. What did you think of the releases, and what name surprised you?
Right off top, when I heard Core J and Dakota Kai, I immediately I can't believe they're releasing them. Now I know Dakota has some injury bugs, but I felt like she had came into her own and was gonna really help the mid card division with the Intercontinental title, because she would definitely be a legitimate champ. Core J, I mean, her and Roxanne Perez was like two thieves in the night, and I was really shocked by that. Don't want any person losing their job. Let me start by saying that. But Braun Strowman getting cut was not a surprise for me. Kiara Jackson, that wasn't a surprise, and it for me is development. The Mensa 4 was good, but you knew Lash Legend was carrying Jackson, and that's no disrespect to her, but she was the better of the two, I would say. Core J, again, you had her in TNA doing things, and it just looked like they were about to have a good storyline with both of them going up to the main roster, her and Roxanne Perez. So that was real surprising to me.
That's what's up. Sam, what's your thoughts?
I mean, we shouldn't be surprised. We get these every year after WrestleMania, and one more time in the fall. So, but yet we're always still so surprised. Braun Strowman, just so we know, it wasn't because he wasn't any good or they didn't want him. It was just that contract was too big when they brought him back, right? And
two times in a row,
right?
2 times in a row.
Yeah,
they cut him for his contract.
On this run, he's been injured a lot too. Let's just be honest about that. So, not being utilized. And I look at Braun Strowman. You built this guy up to be such a machine, and he's losing all the time now. So, I mean, that luster piece is also there, right? It's kind of worn off. What are you going to do with him? But here's the thing with him: they can bring him back. It's in his contract where they can bring him back if they need to. So he's gone, but he's not gone. Cora Jade, Dakota Jackson, I agree with you, Bear, on some of it. But you know what? Both of these girls were working on elastic bands, constantly injured. And it's just WWE's new model is they don't want anyone sitting on the benches. Right. So, and there was not much going on. I mean, if you think about the whole damage control thing, it's just Io left in essence, right? I mean, Dakota, they had nothing for her to do. She's just sitting around, and I get it. And I want these girls to be busy. I don't want anyone to be let go or anything. Mensa, yeah, for me, that was the biggest shock because I really liked her. I love Jackson. I thought she had a lot of potential. I love that tag team. It was like, power and speed.
Right.
It worked really, really well together. And, you could tell how great they were together as a foursome. But once you started separating them, you could see the flaws, right? I mean, who is the Scottish fellow? I'm sorry, I can't remember his name.
He's the
Dar.
Noam Dar. Yeah.
Noam Dar. I mean, out of all four of them, honestly, he was the only one who was really complete.
Definitely.
Right? And they all carried each other. So I get it. To be really honest, I don't have any problem with any of the releases because most of them came from the developmental. The main roster truly wasn't hit. The biggest surprise was probably Shayna Baszler for me because she survived every one of these.
Well,
right? I mean, keeping Zoe Stark over Shayna, that's what kind of made me kind of interesting.
Well, and just to add on to what you were saying, Shayna Baszler has done everything that WWE asked every single time.
Yeah.
How many tag team partners has she had winning the titles? When she brought up to the main roster, she was just hot, and they never gave her a second chance.
because she was too powerful. You put the title on her, who's going to beat her?
Well,
You know what I mean? It's just one of those kind of situations. The way they built her up.
Charlotte
well,
I mean, she took care of Ronda.
yeah, but she could beat Ronda, but she couldn't beat a roll up. You know,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, right? You know, it just I get you, Bear. I get you. It's just
right?
the underutilization of good talent is just unreal in all platforms, not just WWE.
Right, definitely.
You know, and when you look at the two guys that they brought back now we've had a little bit more time to look at Miro or Rusev and Aleister Black. They pretty much made Miro Rusev what he was. And you look at Aleister's promo last week, I'm not the same person who I was when I came here. He made that really, really clear in his promo, right? Why didn't they do that for Rusev?
Rusev is back to doing
Nothing. I'm sorry.
He's the same thing he was in AEW, which, and I would say is not bad, but and a given time it could be better, but it just right off it's like, oh man, that was a waste almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on the releases, Joe?
Well, I mean, Penta's entrance had to get paid for somehow. But I mean, no. All seriousness, you know, majority of the people that got released were injury prone, which is understandable in this sport. So guess what? Sorry, you're not making the cut. We don't want you on the sidelines. Good luck in your future endeavors. No matter how shocking it is. Now, Shayna Baszler, we were talking about her. I hope she goes back to has the best. Yeah, he does. But Shayna Baszler, I hope she goes back to MMA. I like to see her go back into that. Or, you know, hell, hang around Josh Barnett for a little while. I think that would be fitting for her. But the rest of them, I mean, they're going to have to travel to Independence for a while. Which one's the one with Damian Priest that we see on TikTok a lot?
That's Katana Chan.
Yeah. I mean, I think she'll be fine. She's freaking hilarious online, especially when she's Priest. So I think she's going to be just.
Are they a couple?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I noticed that.
Oh,
Man,
that's
the videos
that's
in
one
the
side,
past, she be smacking him on the ass and stuff.
Yeah, because I was sitting there thinking, I was like, Priest is like, oh well, crap, more videos now. That's exactly. No, I think they're all going to be fine. Cora Jade was just way. I know that's a shock. It wasn't to me. That was the least shocking one because she is so injury prone. It's not even funny. I hate saying it that way. When she's in the ring, she's awesome, but she's so injury prone. It's not funny. We'll probably end up seeing her in AEW, but
she's launching her OnlyFans June 2nd.
Well, don't get every creepy guy excited there, Sam.
No. I'm just thinking, you know, I think she's already decided what direction she's going in.
Yeah,
because I think Bea Priestley, she started an OnlyFans page too.
Yeah.
Oops,
she'll be.
Huh? They follow the Lacey Evans movement here. I mean, what the heck?
I mean, hey, you got to make their money somehow. And here's my thing too with all of them. This is a chance for them to do swerve, show WWE what they mistakenly let go, or do like the Psycho Drew
McIntyre.
Yeah.
You said Psycho, I automatically thought Velveteen Dream.
And look what he did when he went back to the Independents. Yeah. And I'm now no disrespect, but I'm like you, CZ. I'm surprised Lion is still in there because she stays injured. The only no disrespect to her.
That's Ruka too.
I don't mean it this way towards you because I don't know you as a person. You may be the sweetest person and all, but main reason they keep her around because she got ass for days. Hey, y'all can call me wrong, but the truth is the truth. They keep her around for the sex appeal.
That's too much ass.
I'm just saying.
But we'll end up seeing some of them. I
Get
think
drowned in that ass.
in TNA too.
Help me! Help. No.
I really think we'll see some of them in TNA as well.
Yeah.
And we'll see some of them in. Shut, Mike, I seen you smile. That was not a good segue. Shut. But,
no, I'm just laughing. I'm laughing at y'all, man. I'm laughing at y'all.
But no, we're going to end up seeing them in different companies. And hey, how about this? Every argument me, especially Mike up here, makes, give fucking Ring of Honor their own television time. That way, some of these people. God,
I don't even want to talk about it no more. I'm so mad.
Athena has probably one of the best women's championship runs, and it's very, very little. Well, very little known. Because why? Because Cocaine Tony can't put it on fucking TV.
Isn't it like Access or something?
Sorry, I'm good. I'm sorry.
Isn't it like an Access or something?
No, it comes on the Ring of Honor streaming channel.
Wow.
Yeah, you got. I think you got to pay like
$9.99 a month.
So these guys now have a deal with Max and everything. And
No, they're still not on Max Ring of Honor.
No. What I'm saying is they have all these outlets.
Right.
They can't find one for them. Go figure.
Oh, for crying out loud! At least Evolve has Tubi. Is that what they're on?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Man, what needs to happen is anybody who knows Tony Khan, man, come on, we'll put it on WSN, man. We could do this. Do it.
If I'm a part of it, he'll probably be like, "Well, he does call me Cocaine Tony, so."
Well, if that's the case, he ain't working with a lot of people because a lot of people make fun of him.
I mean, he's doing this the whole time.
Look, I'm trying to get business.
We talked about this on the show in regards to Tony Khan. The only way things are going to get better is when he stops being a fucking mark. He's got to stop being a fan.
Right. He may be the nicest guy, and I know Maven just recently uploaded a video of him meeting him and showing how he does take care of his people. He does take care of the wrestlers, but booking, yeah, man, you're going to have to quit fanboying and just get down to business now. You know, it's coming up, 6 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Come on. You beat Bischoff. That's a win. That's a win.
Right. But 6 years without not a profit.
Well, that's true.
I'm sorry. I mean, at the end of the day, the man has not made a dime off this 6 years. All right, he's spending money hand over fist, which isn't even his. To be completely honest,
it's his dad's, right?
And when it's not yours, it's not your money invested. Why you don't have that care? Why was WWE successful? Because it was Vince's money.
Yeah,
everything he did, right?
Speaking of McMahon, why didn't he just? I know him and Shane talked. Why didn't he just let Shane partner with him?
Shane didn't want to partner. He wanted to buy him out. Shane,
okay.
Yeah.
And I don't
and this is my thing. I go back to something you said, Joe, which is, shut up, just enjoy wrestling. That's how I feel about Tony Khan. I don't care if it's his daddy's money. I don't care if it's his grandmama's money. I don't care if his aunt Lulu got the bag, her bed stuffed because she don't trust banks. As long as he continues putting wrestling out where I can see it, I appreciate it. And that's, because look, and I say this all the time, we are lucky wrestling fans that wrestling is out there in the mainstream like it is.
Oh yeah.
We continue all this, excuse my language, bitching and fussing and over nothing. Oh, the ratings, dude. I don't care if they only getting 0.1 rating. If they continue doing it and they can lose money and still survive, God bless you. Thank you. I have another one, sir.
Hey, Baron, I agree with you completely. But if you don't have any revenues coming in, eventually we're going to lose the second option, which is
Right.
why I keep tooting that horn. Like he needs to start turning a profit. He needs to take this more seriously, right? Or we're not going to have AEW. It's not going to
Well,
last. It
well,
can't.
the thing is, they have other businesses that are in the positive. So that's why I said I don't care if he's losing money. If he's still interested, his daddy can say, "Boy, go blow. I got you another billion. Go blow it. I don't care."
But the day will come where both Jacksonville and Fulham are doing so shit that Shahid's going to have to look at the books and go, "Well, shit, what the
Right.
hell is this?" Right? Like
Yeah,
I'm losing on every entity.
and hopefully they'll start doing good numbers again. I'm just enjoying it while it's there. I
Yeah,
don't
no, 100%. I agree.
Wouldn't it be some crap to see Vince McMahon pop up one day? I'm just saying. After all this crap lays off,
Right.
because you know he's coming back. He's a
Oh
freaking.
yeah, he gonna come back
He's
some
gonna
way.
make a comeback.
He coming back with Hogan. Him and Hogan.
Bear's calling it now. He's coming back.
Probably will never happen, but I'm still holding out for the day where Vince walks out on like during an AEW show.
Yeah.
I would immediately cut
That'd
my
be-
TV off. I ain't even gonna lie.
Hey, that'd be so crazy.
Exactly.
That one appearance will beat WWE in the ratings alone.
What is what
The only man who can take down WWE would probably be Vince himself.
You actually have a point. He has a point.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Like,
he would have been, but
I still think he would.
he would.
I don't, because he's so out of touch with the product now, and it showed up the years coming going building to it. It showed how out of touch he was with the product and wanted to stick with his way, not the best way.
I appreciate that, but there's also 3 generations of men before this generation that would love to see him come back and would follow him in a heartbeat.
Well, here's the thing, though. Do you guys? Speaking of that,
I'm with you, CZ.
come on, CZ. Come on. Come on.
Yeah, he's dead.
But you think, because a lot people can say he wasn't with the times during the mid '90s too, until Attitude Era hit. Do you think he just had a stroke of luck on that one then?
It was the people around him.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think Pat Patterson influenced that a lot more than he'll ever give him
Oh
credit.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Attitude Era, Royal Rumble.
Sean was in his ear. Triple H was in his ear.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people in his ear. And the thing is, I don't disrespect what he's did for the business. It's just this now. It's like sometimes, and it's like a wrestler who's been in the ring too long. Man, sometimes you got to either step away or get put down.
Right. Flair.
Man. Pop.
Old Yeller style.
Yes, sir.
Real quick, just to give my thoughts on the releases real quick. I think it's just getting to the point where it's just like, we know WWE always doing these cuts, but some of these names is just kind of like Braun Strowman. Like, Braun Strowman at this point wasn't even a monster anymore, for real. They just used him to elevate Jacob Fatu. You know what I'm saying? I was surprised at Dakota Kai because I felt like her, and I felt like that Shayna Baszler could have elevated the mid-card titles if they would have used them more. I was kind of surprised with Jakara Jackson because it seemed like Metaphor was going to be getting moved up to the main roster at one point, and they did kind of. I like them as a tag team, and I think if they would have stayed together, they could probably been the women's tag team champions.
And the way Shakira Jackson worked that lollipop, man, no one did it better.
All right. So let's talk about Backlash. So let's do a review on that real quick. We're gonna start with the main event. We seen Cena versus Randy Orton. Orton was back home in St. Louis. Of course, I expected Cena to win. I think we all expected it. But I think for me, what I'm interested to see in, I don't know if y'all saw the press conference, John Cena putting R-Truth through the table. I think we're about to see a John Cena R-Truth match. I'm gonna start with you, Joe. What's your thoughts?
Did we really have to get my thoughts on that? If this is truly the last match between Orton and Cena, I have to agree with the majority. It was kind of a waste. There could have been, hang on. There could have been a different way to execute that finish. There could have been many different ways to execute it. I thought, and it wasn't R-Truth. I think, I don't know, just something about that finish don't set well with me. The match as a whole was great. It was a good back and forth. I mean, he's going to get my co-host, folks. My co-host. But God dang it. Hang on. But, I think adding Truth to it does kind of like, hey, these are people. Like, Truth never got a real WWE. I think he was in one of the scramble matches.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
So he's never really had a WWE title shot. So it would be interesting. I think.
I hate to interrupt you, but he did at Capital Combat. I think it was Capital Combat. He took on John Cena for the WWE Championship.
I thought it was a championship scramble.
No, it was just him and R-Truth. That was R-Truth's only main event match.
Oh, okay. Well, yep, you're right.
Was that pay-per-view called Capital Punishment?
It may be, Punishment.
Yeah.
Capital Combat, it was WCW.
Yeah.
But, Truth, still not many people know this, but they should. Former NWA World Heavyweight Champion. 2-time, actually, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, come on, give the guy his flowers, but they're not going to give him that title. But I think it'd be a fun match. I think it's going to be slow paced, so that would be a little bit different for Truth because Truth does work fast pace. But I think they're teasing it for Saturday night's main event, is what I've been hearing and seeing. And I think that would be great. But the Orton match, it was really good until, I don't know, that end just didn't. Just something about that ending, it didn't set well with me. And
what was it?
It wasn't all R-Truth. I don't know. It's weird because once you're like in wrestling, like in the business, and you work, there's just some things you're just like, I just gotta. Something's not right there, or something just like a pit in your stomach, like something doesn't feel right, or that I would have done something a little bit different. That's the way I can explain it. I thought the Truth thing was pretty funny because Truth's been the only person up to, what happened at the press conference that's really stuck up for Cena. So I was like, well, that makes a little bit more sense than Travis Scott. So yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's better. But I think that match, it definitely would have been a 5-star, but for me, 4-star.
That's what's up. What's your thoughts on the match, Sam?
Honestly, I mean, Joe, I respect you to the heaven and back, but for me, I thought it was match of the night. In a way, I almost think it could potentially be match of the year. You got these two veterans here. We haven't seen these guys work in a long time. So them working together after so many years was a treat. They just put on a cracker of a match, in my opinion. Orton's, I always talk about Seth Rollins being the king of timing. Orton is also the king of timing. I mean, just the execution of that RKO out of the, AA, phenomenal. Just blew my mind. The way, and it takes two to tango. I get that, right? But, man, it's just the back and forth, because we've watched them since day one. We've seen them come up together. We've seen their feuds. We've seen them all the time. What made this special was Randy Orton was the face and Cena was the heel.
Yeah.
And how they worked that together. You know what I mean? And it was just a great match overall, in my opinion. I liked it. I knew that Orton wasn't going to win, but I believe Bear said that it potentially could be R-Truth that takes the title off of him. Right? Now, that being said, I don't know if they should have a match right away. Let this thing simmer, because I like Bear's idea, because R-Truth could be a guy that could beat him and lose it the next night and no one would feel bad. You know what I mean? You want to get it off of Cena and you want to give that moment to someone who truly deserves it in this industry. It'd be this guy. So I hope they build the story. I hope this is just a planting of a seed. And if they do it properly, R-Truth is the kind of guy that will be on or SmackDown, I guess, if he's on SmackDown or whatever.
Yeah.
Friday, playing it down. Like, oh yeah, that, you know what I mean? He was just trying to teach me a lesson. That's what my hero would do for me. You know what I mean? If they're gonna play it right, this is the way I would write it. Like, he'd play it down. And if R-Truth had come out at WrestleMania instead of Travis Scott, that would have been a better finish.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I have no problem with the finish that way. Because that's the only way I could see them doing it. You can't have them beat him clean because it is Randy Orton after all. And he is the heel, so you got to throw it in there some way, right? Inadvertent cheating, I like to call it. So I had no problem with that, man. I thought it was great. It wasn't what I expected. I had all my expectations on the Fatal 4-Way. That's the match I was looking forward to. And this was just a match I was looking forward to. You know what I mean? But it blew me away. I thought it was great. I'm like, wow, this is great. These two guys can still go. I don't know if it has to do with chemistry or just because of how much they've been together. My only knock on it, I have two knocks on it, and they're both on Cena. One, the 5-knuckle shuffle was horribly executed. Right? You want to talk about a man not touching the other guy? That right there was plain as day. And this has been a knock on Cena throughout his whole career. He still can't figure out how to call the match without people seeing his lips move.
Definitely.
That's my only knock on it. Otherwise, phenomenal.
I think they care, Samp. He's probably got, he's not carrying cross selling shirts now, but, for like selling shirts like crazy. So, I also forgot to mention during mine that it was pretty sweet to see Hurricane Helms and Jamie Noble take RKO still.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because he was out there giving everybody RKOs.
Even Nick Aldis. Like, please just do a rivalry with Nick Aldis already.
That match is going to be happening soon.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I think so, too. Professor Bear, what's your thoughts?
So I kind of feel I fall in the middle of Sats and Joe because I guess I was already burnt out and I was mad because I missed the 4-way match. And I watched it, but I wasn't into it. And like today, just before we came on, I got to watch the 4-way match. And I was like, man, okay, great. And I said to myself, man, I'm gonna have to rewatch that Cena and Orton match because like I said, I was into it, but it was like my TV was on, I look up, then I go back to doing something, then I look up again and I miss a spot. But I didn't miss Cena way missing Orton on that 5-knuckle shuffle. I was like, ooh. Man, is that Cena? Jeez. I like the storyline to it. I love that even though it's going to end up Orton and Aldis down the road. I love that he arcade'd everybody. Every ref took bumps. It was chaotic, and it helped to hide them in the right way when you have older wrestlers who can't do what they used to. I thought they did a great construction of it. I thought Cena had to win with some dirty tactic. That was important, so I was okay with that. If I had to give a number to it, I would give it a 5, but this is not me going, when I go back and watch it again, I probably have a different look at it.
The psychology was great. I mean, just like the double eye poke at the beginning of the match.
Right.
Just little details like that just stood out. And what sucks for all of us guys, especially you, Joe, because you've taken bumps. I don't know if you guys have. You know, so you have that experience in the ring. So I highly respect what you say because you've done it. I haven't, right?
I think I'm thinking back now that we're talking about it. I honestly think it was just Cena's execution during the match. Maybe I get he's supposed to, and I think it's ingenious that they do this. That he's supposed to act like this soulless husk of what he used to be. I think that's brilliant because that's The Rock has his soul. The Rock,
But think about it. The guy doesn't even have a tan. Even Sheamus looks at him and goes, "Man, you're white."
yeah.
Hey, I can't remember who I said that to. I'm like, holy shit, Sheamus is jealous now.
Right? Like, I mean, Cena's really embracing this paleness and everything. The way his eyes look, all of it. Like, I mean, he's really settling into this role. It's going to suck when they turn him back, right? Like before he retires.
Right.
But I mean, you know,
I think with that, but I just seen this. It wasn't nothing. Orton was on fire that night. It's his hometown.
Yeah.
RKOing people left and right. And I don't know. I think it's mostly Cena. I hate saying it because that's my childhood hero. I'm kidding. No, he's not. But think about it now. I think it's just Cena's execution of it. Just it looked sluggish, is how I can say. But maybe it's supposed to look that way because again,
that was his style, though. That's the style he's adapted now.
He's this soulless character. But I think from a worker's aspect, you know, there's ways to do that without looking.
Okay.
You know, without looking. There's other ways there's different ways you can execute that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to me, it just looks maybe just a little too sluggish. But I'll give him kudos points for staying like this soulless, you know, shell of a man that we're used to, and him just saying, I'm going to be the last real champion, whether you guys like it or not. That's the deal, and that's what's going to happen.
I love that he made them cut the music.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, man. That junk was so hilarious. He's like, I know you can see me. He's like, I know you can't see me, but can you hear me? Turn the damn music off. Hey,
that was brilliant.
Hey, I was cracking up. I said, "Oh, Cena is a fool," but yeah, hey, I think he's doing a good job as a heel. I'm kind of glad they didn't make him do this transformation, like a Hollywood Hogan type transformation or whatever. He doing everything that he's been wearing for years. He's still doing it with the different color shirts, the jean shorts. I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? And the thing that I would like to see after him putting R-Truth through the table, I would love to see R-Truth snap out of the silliness just for this story. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of just be like, for real, like, yeah, man, you done threw me through a table. It's on now. You know what I'm saying? You know how Truth used to be before he got on the silly stuff or whatever. So I would like to see that just for a little bit, and then he transitioned back to the silliness. But I'm with an R-Truth John Cena feud. I don't know. I think y'all would probably agree it'd be something different, and that's just something that that just show you the direction that they go in the WWE. Vince would never do nothing like this. You know what I'm saying? So
Vince would do 90% of the stuff that we see today.
Yeah.
Give R-Truth a day or two run. Let him pay-per-view on Saturday, then Monday, make him go to celebrate. And
yeah.
Just give him a run, and I think that will just do so much for everybody, for not just R-Truth being the world champion in WWE, but that will put more heat on Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sitting here thinking two things. One, you got polar opposites now with the characters. Like you have Truth, the funny, witty, almost innocentness of R-Truth, the character. Then you have the soullessness of John Cena, the guy who's been around. He used to go. He beat Flair's record, and he doesn't care. He's going to be the last real WWE champion. It's a track, and especially in wrestling, and I think that's going to work. But another thing I'm thinking is, Jesus, could you imagine if Bray Wyatt was alive for this Cena? Oh my God, what a story that would be!
Yeah.
But But you know what? I don't think a serious hard truth would make the story work. You have to be silly throughout the whole thing in order for it to really work and to really solidify Cena as a heel. If you get a serious hard truth, it's not going to work. Now, what would make awesome sense here is if they could get someone that no one's seen yet in their program, in their system, and come out as actual little Jimmy. I cost Cena the title that way. Like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Are you kidding me? Little Jimmy's real this whole time? Like,
that would be funny.
We need to go to micro wrestling, see who's short. That way, be little Jimmy. Congratulations! Here's $500,000 for 6 months. We need you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey,
that would be amazing. That would make it work so beautifully.
Hey, the way they're going up on these ticket prices, they got the 500,000.
Right.
But I'm sure if anyone's listening to us right now, they're already lining up at Stanford.
Oh,
damn!
You hear the little pitter patter feet turning. Roxy, the Wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
I'm not trying my best with us because Zach Presley, who's
Canada's bringing it,
who's part of micro wrestling, is I actually went to school with him and I know him, so I don't want to piss him off. But God, like, yeah, I could see that. That would be funny. That not only funny, but it would make sense because Little Jimmy was kind of sort of based off John Cena, anyways. So.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, real quick, let's talk about the Fatal 4-Way match. Jacob Fatu, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, LA Knight. I think we all expected Jacob Fatu to win this. The big surprise, Jeff Cobb is now in WWE. He's on Team Solo. And before y'all get y'all thoughts, I think we all would agree that Jeff Cobb was looking like a Temu Rhino. So that being said, Sam, what's your thoughts on the Fatal 4-Way?
Hey, Fatal 4-Way was exactly what I expected it to be. I thought it'd just be louder, faster, more powerful. The spots were standard. Everyone went through a table. Everyone threw a pole. You just had some, 4 big men in there, right? And they, did what they were supposed to do. So the match delivered what it was supposed to do. Nothing stood out. I thought it would stand out a bit more. Jeff Cobb coming, made sense. Educate me. I haven't looked it up. I apologize. Is he a part of the Samoan legacy? Because
he's not even Samoan.
He looks Samoan, though.
Yeah, he's not.
Okay.
Though.
Okay.
He's a Polynesian.
Yeah, Polynesian. Okay, so same region though, right? So him entering the fray, really interesting because this gives Solo life again, in a way.
Exactly.
Right? And I still see Fatu breaking away from these guys. I'm still gonna I said it on our show today. I still believe that Fatu might be one of the main events at WrestleMania next year.
I agree. I think he's an early favorite. He's my early favorite to win the Rumble.
Oh yeah,
possibly, right? Like, I mean, just the way they're building him, and he's just on the verge. Everyone in the crowd's already chanting his name.
Yeah.
You just need to finalize it and make this guy what everybody wants him to be. So, Fatal 4-Way, no problems, no issues. It was what it was. Maybe I built it up too much in my own heart because of the work that these guys have done individually against each other. But the match was what it was. It delivered.
That's what's up. What's your thoughts, Joe?
The Fatal 4-Way was actually surprisingly good. That was match of the night for me. No offense to Cena or
no.
That was match of the night. The Penta and Dom match was close second because that was a good one too. But seeing Jeff Cobb, this goes back to my freaking Lucha Underground theory. Hey, guess how many former Lucha Underground people we got in WWE now? We about got the full freaking roster. Just aside from Vampiro and Matt Stryker on commentary, we got Penta, we got Ray, we got Chelsea Green. I forget what her name was in Lucha Underground. We got Jeff Cobb. He was Mil Mortis. Is that who? No, he wasn't Mil Mortis. It was the big scary character. Yeah. I forgot. Yeah. But yeah, Jeff Cobb was that. Then we got some other Io Sky,
Cross,
the White Rabbit. That's right, Cross. Yeah, I wouldn't want to see Paul London back as the Mad Hatter, but hey, it is what it is. But it all goes back, and it makes more sense now that we see AAA forming up with Worlds Collide. That's coming up within what, 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that I'm excited for. I'm like, this is what I want to watch. This is going to be great. But maybe I'm hoping that we do get to see Lucha Underground back pretty soon. I don't know if they bought the rights to it or not. They did buy the rights. Okay,
yep.
What the hell are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? Are we waiting for Worlds Collide and then have a Lucha Underground reunion then? Because that would be great.
Who knows with them?
Yeah, we'll talk about Fatu. He was in MLW during that collision war that they had with Lucha Underground. So you can kind of say he's in that loop as well. But as far as the people getting behind him, I was behind that guy back in Contra Unit. But then to see him in WWE, I'm like, oh, this guy, yeah, he's world champion. I don't even give it 2 years, CZ. I give it less than a year.
Yeah.
If he wins the Rumble, goes on to Mania, he's winning that damn title. But yeah, I like how they're doing it. They're giving him a slow pace with the mid card title. Then how it should be in wrestling.
They're building him right.
Yeah, they're building him right, how it should be. You get a mid card title. Let's see if you have a good run with that. You're having an excellent run. Okay, well, let's try to build you up for the main event scene.
Only thing Jacob has to do, sorry, Joe, the only thing he has to do is just make sure he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, that's it. That is
all he has to do.
Yeah.
He's probably in the best shape of his in-ring career. So, yeah, 100%. I would love to see him be a champion pretty soon. And if you're going to release anybody, please release Solo. Just do it already, please. No offense to Solo, but
I think Solo's taking more of the managerial role. I think we talked about it on here as well, right?
Yeah,
it's leaning more and more that he's more of an advocate. Like he'll have his moments, but he's becoming a young version of MVP.
I was just thinking that. Yeah.
But he's not a. They built him up to be a killer whenever he first started, and people were like, "Yeah, we see through it. Come on."
What's your thoughts on the Fatal 4-Way, Professor Bear?
I really enjoyed it. Like Sat, though, I think I built it too much in my head that I thought Jacob was going to just really run through him, which ended up being the better choice that they didn't. I love everything. New Cobb was there because Cobb does what all the wrestlers do nowadays when they get signed and try to hide. Oh, I'm retiring. Oh, I'm going to live in Wakanda. I'm never rest. Man, we all know you're coming. So that's cool. Like Sat too, I enjoy what they're doing with Solo because Solo looked like he was a goner. It's like, why is he here? Now he's showing that he's a smart leader. All his people are hurt. I'll keep bringing in. We got so many damn Samoans and Polynesians and everything. I could keep bringing them in.
Right.
Either you look,
New Guinea.
Yeah, and like he said, dang. So like he said, he's all gas, no brakes. Well, that's cool, but I can keep bringing brick walls. You're gonna stop eventually. So
where the hell
I'm
is
enjoying the build? I'm enjoying the slow burn of Jacob. Like, okay, I'm not stupid. I see what you're doing. You're getting people. Okay. So it's going to be a big, not just the physical and the emotional, but it's going to be the mental challenge. And that's what I'm here for, to see how they're going to play chess, because these are all chess moves. So I'm enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, where the hell is Zilla fought to, man?
They're holding him. They're holding him. I have a feeling Zilla and the other guy that they've signed, the two of them, they're going to come with Roman somehow. I have a feeling this is going to be Roman's new bloodline.
I think he's not going to be bloodline for a while. I think it's time for him to run as that big dog again and get revenge on people.
Yeah, he's got to show up to do that, though.
Well, I mean, hey, yeah. And look, he ain't coming back for no backlash. You know, he ain't crazy. he make that big money. He ain't gonna waste his time.
Yeah. You know what? I agree with you, but you know, again, I'd put I'd put what's his name, R-Truth over LA Knight to get the title first.
Yes. I mean, again, it don't have to be a long run, but just let him to go down in the history books as the NWA and WWE champion.
You could do like Rey Mysterio, win it on a Sunday and lose it to Cena on a Monday.
Yeah. No, he didn't make it that far. It was Monday. He won it, and 2 hours later he lost.
Oh, that's right. He won it Monday at the beginning, and then lost it at the end. Right.
And then CM Punk came out to ruin, just to have icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Right.
Speaking of which, did you hear Punk call Heyman Penguin last night? Come here, you Penguin.
Yeah.
He called Seth Timu Seth. That fish.
Look, I'm not a big CM Punk guy, but I got to give credit where credit due. When he gets his mind right, he can roast anybody.
Yeah, definitely. All right, y'all. Let's talk about the Lyra Valkyria Becky Lynch match. I was actually surprised. I actually liked this match. I was surprised that Lyra Valkyria won. I actually thought that Bayley was gonna pop up in the match, but she didn't. Yeah, she got beat down at the end. It looked like she broke her nose or whatever. But I was very surprised. It was a good match. I'm glad they didn't take it off Lyra Valkyria, because it's like I hear people say that they need to take the belt off of her because she's boring. Me, I don't think so. I don't think Becky Lynch or Bayley needed it. So you know what I'm saying. So for me, I'm cool with Lyra Valkyria winning. So Professor Bear, what's your thoughts on the match?
Like you, I was shocked because I knew Becky was taking that title.
Yeah.
Now,
Becky Hogan.
Is it a good thing that she didn't? Yes, because it still got the thing across that title is important. And now you will see more challenge. Like, I still think Becky is going to get that title. I honestly do. And I think it'll be her and Bayley going at it. But, and then you don't have to. You can pivot to someone else that's get a chance to build herself up. Like Roxanne Perez is there now. That'd be a great person to be a champ, or Julia. But the match it wasn't surprising they had a good match, because when they were in NXT, when she took the title off of Becky in NXT, they put on a great match. So I wasn't surprised on that. I love the beat down afterwards and her snapping. And I love her promo Monday night.
Yeah.
You can hate Becky all you want, but Becky cut one hell of a promo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up. What's your thoughts, Sam?
Yeah, no, match was great. I had no problem with it. Both girls have worked together. They're both Irish, so they do have that background. In a way, you could see the mentor student kind of relationship kind of unfold there. Even if it wasn't meant to be seen, I could see some of that coming through. I too also thought that Bailey would interfere, but I'm glad she didn't because I think that feud's coming. It's building more and more. It's not like the old days when we used to watch wrestling. Whatever we watched on TV, that's it. That's all we got. With social media and all the podcasts, everything that's available to everyone, these guys are continuing storylines on all these different platforms. And, if you haven't caught it, I don't know what podcast it was, but she talks about Bailey and Damage Control, how she can't, control her own group and, this and that, just shooting her down at every avenue. Now, as far as the Intercontinental Women's title goes, it should be treated like the men's. It should elevate up and coming talent, right? Becky doesn't need it. I believe once you've won the world title, you should never have to go for those secondary titles.
I agree.
Right? That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Right? And I could be wrong. A title is a title. It's honorable. I get it. But, Becky doesn't need it, and Bailey doesn't need it, and that feud doesn't need it. Right? So Lyra winning, I had no problem with it. I thought it was the right choice. You got Zoe Stark. Let's give her a run. Let's bring her up. Let's get her going a little bit. You got some of the other girls down there, like you said, Julia, Roxanne. But I mean, they're a bit of a higher name, especially Julia, with her pedigree and everything. So I don't know if he would benefit from the Intercontinental. Maybe Roxanne would, but there's a lot of mid-card girls there that would definitely benefit, right? Like it's doing wonders finally. I mean, Selena Vega's finally getting some recognition.
Exactly.
How long has she been here?
Yeah.
Like they put that strap on her and she's good. Right? And she has something there. It was a good match. I had no problem with it. No issues. I thought it worked. It did what it was supposed to do. Look, bottom line, the whole show did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah. It
was only 2 hours, 2 hours and 5 minutes long. The whole thing.
Yeah.
Now that being said, I have to ask you guys a question. Does TKO put more importance on UFC than WWE, or is it the other way around? The reason they put these shows on so early is so they don't interfere with the UFC.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's a smart business move. You got two of the biggest companies out there. Why have you? There's no sense of clashing yourself against yourself. So I understand it, and I think it's great because. And then you listen to how many fans cry. Oh my God! They had 1,800 matches. It was 6 hours. Oh my God! Now you get your 2 hour ones. Now, personally, for me, it went so fast I had to keep looking at the clock. Like
that is awesome. For you guys, it's awesome. Right? Well, you're all like I always laugh because when you guys text me, I'm laughing because I'm like, I'm just finishing off breakfast. You guys are starting lunch, right? Like 3 hours is huge. If you don't, if you really think about it at the end of the day, like what is it here now? It's 7 o'clock in the evening. You guys are gonna hit 10 o'clock, man. I feel bad keeping you on the air, like you know what I mean? Like it's not even dark yet.
And that's the thing for me is like I'm cool. I'm super happy with what they're doing, but the one thing that pisses me off. You have a good one too, KZ. The thing that irritates me is their purpose trying to take away from AEW. You got it's not like they're hurting for anything. Why counter program against them?
To be assholes, that's what they do.
Yeah, no, I get it. But again, it's going to be, we play that dangerous point of something's going to happen, then one to be gone or something, then they're going to be back to being the top. We own everybody, and
But in a way, also though, Professor, this might light a fire under AEW's backside to try to change some of the policies. I'm not
Yes.
saying change the product. I have no problem with it. Look, there's wrestling for everyone out there. If you want to watch studio wrestling like the old days, you have the NWA and Billy Corgan, right? I mean, you
Yep.
can watch that style if that's what you used to like. You got the WCW style, which I'll say is like AEW in a way. You know, you have that style, then you got WWE. But again, it just comes down to the fact that Tony Khan and his management team are not putting enough emphasis on making some money to keep this going. So maybe by WWE taking shots at them and doing what they've done now in a couple of instances here now, this lights a fire like, oh shit, we we got to start doing something. You know, Chance always says Tony needs to grow a backbone and start taking shots, man. I mean, I don't, you listen to our show, we go back and forth. I protect the business. He does what he does, right?
Right.
And and I have to agree with him. Like we have an amazing story here. Tony can say, look, both of us, me and Triple H, yeah, we're working with other people's money. We're doing our own thing, blah, blah, blah. But at least Triple H is trying.
Yeah.
Tony's not. And that's what bothers me. Like, I want him to succeed. I want it to stay around.
Yeah.
But how can you do it? It can't last forever the way he's running the business. And that's what happened at WCW. I don't care what anybody says, man. Once those books go into the red, you're done.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
Joe, what's your thoughts on the Becky Lynch Lyra Valkyria match?
Honestly, it's all right. Sorry, I lost for some reason. My camera's not working, but
Okay.
But yeah, I'm still here. It was all right. I mean, honestly, I kind of went to the bathroom. I'm don't mean to be that guy, but yeah, it was a bathroom break for me, dog.
For sure. Let's talk about the Dom and Penta match. We saw Dom. He won the Intercontinental, retained his title thanks to Chad Gable.
That is not Chad Gable. That is Vince McMahon on his way on his return.
Americano Grande.
Yeah. This was an okay match. I expected some type of run-in, some type of interference in this match. Joe, what's your thoughts on the match?
Honestly, I really loved the match.
Okay.
I thought it was really good. I'm like, okay, this is from a perspective. If you put yourself in Dom's shoes, this is going to be an ultimate test. This is a lucha legend he's going up against. This is someone that, if you respect lucha libre, this is someone like top 5, or if not top 5, top 3 people you want to work with. So I mean. I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, Dom, you lucky son of a gun. Not only did you probably have 2 of the best looking women hang all over you, not only are you the Intercontinental Champion now, but now you're working against a legend. So, damn you, Dom. I think Dominic, that match was, I honestly, it was a close second. I loved it. I enjoyed it. And I knew the shenanigans from Judgment Day was going to happen, but Grande Americano, whatever you want to call him, that was kind of like the icing on the cake, and it made sense because he's been after the Luchadors since what? January, right?
Yeah.
So that made sense. I'm just waiting on Dominic to turn babyface so he can feud with him and just end this stupid gimmick, for crying out loud. Good night, Irene. He looks like if Conan was lost and had the ridiculous makeshift oh god, what's his name? Jushin Thunder Liger mask made, or I don't know. He's got the Conan gear with the messed up Jushin Thunder Liger mask. But that's my 2 cents on it.
That's what's up. Professor Bear, what's your thoughts?
It was a Judgment Day match. And I'm not saying it was good. I'm not saying it was bad. It was just Judgment Day. Anytime they get together in a match, it's almost like, okay, ABC, and that's what happened. I wouldn't depressed about it. Honestly, I did get me some food because it was Judgment Day. I knew who was going to win. And that way it took Penta out the Intercontinental race so he can go fight Chad another time with the mask on. So I was cool with everything.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Sam, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, again, both guys dead on. It was a formulated match. It's wrestling 101. Basically, that's what we saw, right? No problem with it. America and Grande, coming in and being the guy that cost Penta. My only problem with it is they're making Grande look so strong, but then Chad Gable loses to Penta the next night, right? And it just kind of shows, like I didn't like that myself personally. While we were talking about it, I kind of had a thought. Well, I think Grande's run's going to end at that Collision pay-per-view.
You
I
take
think
that mask off of him?
Yeah, I think, I thought it was going to happen at WrestleMania when they announced it and all those guys were ringside. I thought they were all going to jump in and, kind of surround him and kind of just take it off of him then. Yeah. But I guess they saved it, whatnot. But maybe at this show here, something will happen and, he'll finally be exposed, right? So the match was good. And on Dominic, I'll be honest, man. Look, here's a guy who didn't get the benefit of training with everyone else, in NXT. He was thrust upon the scene. He was thrust upon the big cameras, if you want to call them that. He had to learn on the fly. You look at Dominic's work in 2020 to where he is now. Guy's done a lot, man. Respect to him.
Yes.
For his height, for everything he is. The guy's really, really coming to his own, and I really enjoy watching Dom. I love his facials. I love his psychology. This guy's a natural. This guy is going to be big, I predict, as the years go by. He's just going to grow and grow and grow. And I love everything that he's doing. So, and I think, it was great for Dom, man. It's just good for him. And what people don't understand, this guy works his ass off, guys.
Yeah.
Most matches logged all year. This guy's everywhere. NXT, SmackDown, you name it. He's a workaholic. You got to give him respect. He had the most matches last year.
Yeah, he did.
He's definitely going to go from Rey Mysterio's son to that's Dominic Mysterio's dad.
Exactly. And that's going to happen here eventually. In the
next
he's 5 years. If he stays with the company, if he keeps moving the way he does, and again, like I always say, if he stays relatively injury-free, which he has been, double knock on wood, the future is his, man. He's got it. He's got it.
He does.
And the fans are getting behind him now too.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Once that
naturally
start happening, you're gonna start seeing that turn. You're gonna start seeing that transition from heel to babyface, and they're gonna love him. I'm telling you.
And look at and I'm about to say, look at him. He's basically now the leader of Judgment Day. He's making the call. Like they about to get another member. They about to dump.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Ray didn't come out to save his brother.
I know. I thought that.
I thought Ray would come out and just have, I get it, you're on different brands, but when are they going to make those two connect? I mean, that's the whole reason that they both came here.
I think it's about to come soon, especially with the Chad stuff, because American Made can jump him and stuff, and his brother gonna finally pop on.
Yeah.
I could see them being on the same brand draft time.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the last match that happened. Well, this wasn't the main event, but the last match we're gonna talk about: Gunther versus Pat McAfee. This match was all right. You know what I'm saying? I thought that it would be a little bit more intense. I give Pat McAfee his props. He's not a bad wrestler, but I don't think he's like up there with like a Logan Paul or maybe like a Bad Bunny as far as like celebrity wrestlers. He did his thing, you know what I'm saying? And I think Gunther, after the match, gained this respect for him and stuff like that. The one thing that I was happy about after Backlash, if you saw Raw yesterday, Gunther is getting back in the world title picture. So it's not one of them things where, okay, he beat Pat McAfee, now he about to wrestle Sheamus or something. It's, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He getting back to business. So I'll start with you, Samp. What was your thoughts on the Gunther Pat McAfee match?
Okay, first thing first, watch Triple H's interview after, and someone asked him, "What do you think of Logan Paul as a celebrity wrestler?" He shot him down. That's the first time that Triple H actually had a backbone during one of these press conferences. And Chance told me about it. I hadn't seen it. I went back and saw it, and I was really proud of Triple H. As much as I'm not a fan of Logan Paul, the guy is more than a celebrity wrestler. I got to give him his props where they're due. Okay. But I will argue not every wrestler gets 3 months to work on one match. I'll leave it at that. Now, McAfee situation, the match could have gone either way. They could have made McAfee look so good that would just hurt and bury Gunther even more, but they didn't do that, right? They tried to trade, shot for shot, but they made McAfee still fall down. Gunther never really fell from any of those shots, so they kept him strong. I like that. He had his moments where he had, the momentum, McAfee, that was great. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the right guy won. My only thing I didn't understand is that standoff they had at the end. It just made no sense. I wish something would have come from that, but nothing did. But yeah, getting back into the world picture, let's see where it goes, man. I'm still not sure what they're going to do with Gunther. I really don't. I really thought Goldberg was going to come out and interfere and set that match up, because his retirement match will be with Gunther, I believe, still.
Yeah.
Right? And this would have been a perfect segue to bring out Goldberg and attack or interfere somehow, or just come out and allow McAfee to get the small package. That would have kept Gunther safe. That would have, popped the crowd. But I guess, no one ran out this night, right? Except Jeff Cobb.
Joe, what's your thoughts on the Gunther Pat McAfee match?
It was all right, man. I mean, can you all hear me good? All right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, I got a new headset on for my phone. I'm just testing it out since my,
Nice.
video went crap. All right, so it said studio quality, so, but I'm okay, cool. That's great, but it is what it is. McAfee got the crap beat out of him in wrestling. If you get the crap beat out of him and you're still standing, that is a sign of respect. So I kind of respected that match a little bit more than what it probably needed to be. So I got to respect Pat McAfee. But you mentioned Bill Goldberg. I want to bring up some 2K stuff. Mike, I don't know if you're bringing this up or not. Tomorrow's the first DLC of 2K, and the silhouette they put for the quote celebrity guest, did it not look oddly familiar, like Bill Goldberg's silhouette? Was that just me?
I didn't see it. See, I've been looking at stuff on the internet, and I've been seeing stuff talking about they've been showing the list of who the celebrities are. So you saying this Bill Goldberg?
From the silhouette and from a very credible source who's really usually right about this stuff, 9 times out of 10, this guy's right. The silhouette that they had looked like Bill Goldberg's silhouette, and that would be kind of cool if they're going to have former wrestlers who I can kind of see them saying, "Yeah, Goldberg's a bit of a celebrity in his own right, I guess." If you're Bret Hart, you'll strongly disagree with that, but I digress. But if that's the case, then imagine the DLCs then. But I don't know if it's going to be Bill Goldberg. We'll find out tomorrow. But yeah, the match, looking back at it, it was just a respect match. I was honestly wanting Wade Barrett to get up after Cole got manhandled. I'm like, all right, Barrett, get up. We need a bullhammer now, please. For the love of God, we need this match. But I don't know if he can even have a match or not from his past injuries. But yeah, it was okay. It was what I expected it to be, except for that last little bit where it was just a sign of show of respect. And that's all I got to say about that.
That's what's up. Professor Bear, what's your thoughts?
Like the guy said, it was an okay match. I was worried that they would put over McAfee and just screw Gunther over. I'm glad they didn't. It left Gunther being who he is. The only thing I would say is I know he was toying with him and doing all that stuff, but I did not like towards the end him standing up and being able to take chops when you have professional wrestlers that do it all the time, don't stand as long as he did.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, we can talk up to adrenaline.
and I give McAfee his props because he's done some great matches in it. If you've never seen him, and I'm not talking about that WrestleMania crap with Vince and Theory.
Yeah.
I'm saying go back and watch NXT.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's where you would gain immense respect for Pat McAfee and his ability in the ring.
War Games.
With that being said, another part that I didn't like is when Michael Cole grabbed Gunther's feet and tried to get the win. He should have just he at least should have chopped the hell out of him. He
Right.
should have.
Yeah.
Screw the power bomb. He should have just chopped him one good one. So he could go back on the deal. Well, I'm going to keep going. I'm having a hard time. Woo. Let me tell you. So he could go Monday night to sit there and say, I'm still having problems breathing. I tell you, you don't want to get chomped by Gunther. Besides that, it was all right.
That's what's up. What's your thoughts, Sam?
Again, like I just said, you know, it was what it was supposed to be. The right guy won. You know, Michael Cole interfering was kind of interesting. That kind of opened the door for Braid Ware to get in there as well. I mean, Barrett's actually ready to fight. He can fight at any given time. He is cleared, right? So you could potentially have a Gunther. You could have had a potential Gunther Wade Barrett feud, you know, if he wanted to interfere as well. So, but in terms of McAfee getting up, I just chalk that up to adrenaline. You know, that's the only reason. It's kind of like the guy who broke his ankle, but he finished the match.
Right.
You know what I mean? And whatnot, sort of a deal. So, you know, the match was what it was. Like I said, the only issue I had was that standoff at the end. And after hearing what you guys have been saying, I really chalk it up to Gunther showing his respect, but a guy who doesn't know how to say thank you.
Right.
Like the Fonz never knew. The Fonz can never say sorry.
Right.
I know it's a Happy Days reference. I don't know, you know.
I get it.
But
Yeah.
Fonz always had a hard time saying thank you and sorry, even though he tried.
Right.
You know, so maybe that's what we were seeing there, that old school wrestling mentality, a part of the story. I just think Gunther's in limbo right now. Like, yeah, he's trying to throw himself back into the world title picture, this and that. But I guess the following weeks will let us know what direction they're going to go with this guy, right? I mean, it's kind of shitty. You lose the title, then what are you supposed to do?
Well, see, I have a different thought on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they showed their hand Monday night saying that he's going to get a rematch in a month. Well, look, they threw Jay against Seth already. They're going to throw him against
Logan.
And he's going to take on Braun, even though it's a non-title match. But they're trying to get moments out of it because Gunther is taking that title back.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing was, it's the same thing as when he won the Intercontinental title, except they're giving him a longer run and trying to make him look tough. And Gunther's going to get the title back, and then they're going to go on with their plans. And maybe even because Seth will get that belt, maybe a Gunther fan change.
They've been teasing it a little bit too, right? Before all of
Exactly.
this, they were teasing it.
Exactly.
They were
So-
feeling it out to see what people were going to do.
So, and I will give WWE this credit on them. They've thrown. It's like Batman. We know he's the Joker is his main villain, but they threw other villains out there. So now you're thinking, why would at this? Who knows who will interfere? Who knows who get involved?
Well,
and we do have Heyman there, and you know he will pull power. So you just never know.
No, without Batman, there was no Joker. Without Joker, there's no Batman. Right?
Exactly.
I mean, if Batman was a pimp, Joker would be his bottom bitch.
Man, I'm telling
you. That's what's up. So real quick, last topic for the day. WWE has announced that looks like Evolution 2 is coming back. It's supposed to be happening around July 12th and 13th. And I think that's supposed to be the weekend of
International Fight Weekend, the Friday, Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, All In.
Yeah, and AEW All In. So it's been a long time coming for Evolution 2. So real quick, Professor Bear, what's your thoughts on them bringing back the pay-per-view?
Looking forward to it. Anybody who knows me know I am an advocate of women's wrestling. I want real women's wrestling, not no disrespect for women who are divas, but if you're a diva, stay the hell away from me and my wrestling. I want the respect, put respect on the women's name, and I will support and do everything because hell, they are a lot of times they're more exciting than the men. So
yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah,
that's what's up. Samp, what's your thoughts on Evolution 2?
Evolution 2. I'm actually really looking forward to it for the fact that Evolution, the original one, if you look at the talent that was on that card, man, it's elevated levels above that. So I can only imagine the kind of stuff that we're gonna get off of that show. I mean, from Evolution, we got women Hell in the Cell, we got women Elimination Chamber. All these matches emerged from that. You know, the opportunities that were given to the girls. And just like Bear, I'm a big advocate of women's wrestling. I'm a big advocate of women's boxing. I love it, right? And, you know, again, they put on some matches better than the men do because I look at women's wrestling like this, and I mean this with all the respect. I love the women, okay? But it's like college basketball. College basketball games are so much more exciting than the NBA because those guys are fighting to get to the NBA. And the way the girls fight sometimes, they're trying to prove a point even though they don't need to anymore. They're still trying to prove that they can go. Yeah. Right? So I can't wait. I like, you know, I love the roster, and I've always maintained that NXT, WWE, NXT in particular, has the best women right now. You know, in the program, right? So now we have Julia. Now we have, you know, Rhea in her prime. We have Io in her prime. We have, you know, Becky, Bailey. You know, they're the veterans now. Ironically enough, it's right.
Stephanie McCoy.
Oh
Stephanie as well, right? Look at the girls that are down there on NXT too, that are still there. Phenomenal. Sol Ruka,
Jordan Grace.
Give me 6 through and through.
Bianca, can't forget Bianca.
Oh yeah. What's your thoughts, Joe?
It's about freaking time. That's my exact thoughts. About freaking time. Well, again, like you gentlemen have said, there was a revolution, not an evolution. There was a revolution after that happened. A lot of people started coming in. Women's wrestlers started coming in. Now it's time because we see Rhea Ripley. Dear Lord, Rhea Ripley now is a vet. Think about that for just a moment. So now it's time to bring some new talent in. And there is a whole lot of independent talent, and probably those at the Performance Center that's going to be featured in this. And it's going to be exciting. I can't wait for it.
Well, they got Evolve as well. Like they got Evolve to choose from as well now, right? So,
yeah, and I was gonna say, and then something we all miss, TNA.
That is true, TNA.
Yeah.
And now AAA too. Bringing those girls.
See, it's so much they can do, and I hope and pray, because and we all know the reason why they never did the second one until now.
Now it works. Okay.
The second one, they wouldn't do a second one because they lost money, so they said they weren't going to do anymore. But now, with all the talent, everything going on, they can really do something special with this.
Yeah.
And I hope they promote it right. I hope they sell it right. And unfortunately, they're going to do it at the wrong time. They're going to go up against AEW counter programming, and that's going to hurt some of it.
Yeah.
Well, I think the other thing is with Evolution, the very first one that they did, we had a lot of, again, with all due respect, these women all paved the way for what we are seeing today. But a lot of those girls were former divas.
Yes.
Right? We're not going to get those girls this time.
Yeah.
We're going to get the girls that are taking bumps, that are bleeding, aren't afraid of the blade job. Right? So, I mean, I think the oldest person that will be on that show will probably be Natalia, if she's even on it.
Yeah.
Hey, Rusty.
What's going on, Rusty?
The Ruskers, the Rustmeister.
Ranger Joe.
The one thing that I would like to see, I would like to see them maybe do more than 5 matches, like how they've been doing at the current pay-per-views. I think it's a women's pay-per-view, so I think that it should be, I would say 7, maybe close. I would say 7 to 9, 7 to 8 matches. I would definitely like to see all the women's titles on the line. It would definitely be a good opportunity for the women's Intercontinental title and the U.S. title.
Yeah.
I just hope that when they do this, they celebrate women's wrestling, but they celebrate it right. Yes,
100%.
have some of the divas and some of the women from the past, but celebrate the women of now and the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think
just for shits and giggles, we should have one bikini match.
Samp, no. No. Now you're talking about someone that thinks he's notorious. Stop it.
No. So then they have to bring out Stephanie. They have to bring out Stephanie and thank her because she invented women's wrestling.
Oh, get the
Okay, just for old school's sake, maybe bring back excuse me, what's her name?
Oh,
Guerrero.
Vicky Guerrero.
Bring Vicky back and put her in a pool of pudding again one more time.
That could be the pre-match.
You start the show off with that, then all the girls come and say, "Hey, we're not about that anymore," and now the show starts. Right?
Right. Well, you know what, fellas? I appreciate.
I'm sorry, Joe. I disappointed you, brother. I feel bad now.
I appreciate y'all coming on. I know it was last minute. As always, it's always a good thing when the main event roundtable comes along and we come together and we talk wrestling. Give out some shout outs and plugs. I'm gonna start with you, Joe. Go ahead and do your thing.
All right. This Friday, we are going to be talking about the career of Sabu. This is going to be one heck of a show. Yes, exactly. This is going to be one heck of a show. And a lot of good friends is coming out of the woodwork. We're going to talk about Sabu, and we're going to have a great time talking about him. Other than that, oh, good Lord. Rusty, go lay down. Go. Rusty will not be a part of that show now. He is exempt. Sorry, Rusty. He cannot be part of the show, but I'm kidding. But, we got a lot of stuff coming up. I'll actually be this Saturday. I'm going to be back in Monticello, Kentucky for the first time in almost a year on behalf of the Hall of Fame, because not only am I going to be announcing our headliner for the Hall of Fame, but I'm also going to be announcing a surprise, if you will. So I'll be in Monticello, Kentucky, Triple Crown Wrestling. Their board has graciously said, yes, come on and it's going to be a great time. I can't wait. And don't forget July 12th, 2025. God, Rusty, I'm trying to plug the Hall of Fame here. Will be the Commonwealth Professional Wrestling Legacy Hall of Fame. We actually have one of the inductees in here tonight, Professor Bear. It's going to be a great time. Tickets, I'll actually be announcing that next week, so be prepared for that.
That's awesome. That's what's up. Professor Bear, any plugs and shout outs?
Yeah. So on the Bear's Thought, I have a special guest, and her name is Calamity Jane, and she is gonna bring some history, and we're gonna just find out and enjoy each other. And unfortunately, Joe, I will not be able to make your show Friday.
All good.
I have to take a day off because it's my wedding anniversary. So me and the wife are going to spend the day together and enjoy ourselves. But Saturday, that the EPW is coming to Widow oh God, I can't remember the name. Oliver Springs, Tennessee, and they have graciously have me coming and being there at the show, and maybe even getting called the main event. So
Nice.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to seeing them and being a part of the action and just show them love as much as they have shown me love. So
that's what's up. That's what's up. Samp.
Samp and Chance, maybe West Coast of North America. We are doing 2 shows a week, boxing and wrestling. This week, I shared with you guys, but I'm not going to say everything right now just in case, because nothing's official till you hit that record button. But we have a really, really good boxing episode coming up this week, guys. Really, really important interview. One of rare interviews. So tune in for that. Our wrestling show is going nonstop, covering everything that's happening in the world of professional wrestling. A different take on it. A couple guys from the West Coast, you know what I mean? And we're like yin and yang. I love it because on one end we got one, and on the other end we got the other guy, and we just gel together. So if you guys want some good debates, if you guys are looking for a view and an opinion that you probably won't find other places, come check out Samp and Chance. We're on all social medias at Samp and Chance. Thank you for all the support. Thank you, Mike D, again for facilitating this. Thank you all for making me a part of your guys' team here, man. It means a lot to me.
Oh, no problem.
Next board meeting, I'm still putting in a vote for Sam to be part of WSN. I'm just saying. We're
working on some stuff. I will say that.
So Joe, the way I look at things, my friend, very simply, it's all about faith and patience. Everything happens at the big man's time, and it will happen if it's supposed to happen. So I appreciate it all. I love it and everything. Can I share one quick story though? Just
go ahead.
So I was actually home this weekend because you guys know I work all weekend, right?
Right.
So I actually got to sit down with Little Miss Smith. That's what I call my daughter. That's her wrestling name. And we watched the pay-per-view together, which was amazing because she wouldn't stop talking. The whole show. And I'm like, yep. And if you notice with children, they'll start talking at the most inopportune times when you're trying to listen.
Right.
But I don't want to shit on her either because I love her so much. And the fact that I have a daughter and no sons and she loves wrestling, that means the world to me. So she goes, Dada, can we bet? I'm like, okay, what do you want to bet? She goes, $10, because I knew she had $10 in her piggy bank. So she goes, we'll pick the winners, and whoever wins gets $10. So by the time we got to the main event, I was 4 for 4. She was 0 for 4. She looks at me. I go, do you realize I've already won the bet? And she's like, well, let's make it interesting. Let's see, whoever wins the last match gets 6 points. I said, okay, I'll pick Orton. Thank God she's innocent enough that she didn't realize what I was doing, but that made my day. I just wanted to share that. I'm sorry.
That's awesome.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
And Joe, if you need me Friday, I'm available.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely would love to have you on Friday, brother.
Cool.
That's what's up. And real quick, make sure everybody checks out Wrestling from the 313 on the the WSN app. You can check us out on YouTube. You can check me out on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram.
OnlyFans.
Definitely not there. But yeah, we got a lot of big stuff coming in the future. Got a lot of guests lined up. Next week got a show with independent referee Ronnie Schumer. So she's gonna be coming on. She's gonna be talking about, her experiences with wrestling. She got a big show that she want to talk about. So she'll be coming on for the first time. Nice. Gotta thank my guy Crander Q because he put the word out when I was looking for guests. He told he told everybody. Hey, I was getting mad messages, but hey, I appreciate it.
Do you got to give that guy a shout out, really?
Dude, I like that guy. I've never met him yet.
I hate his guts.
Hey, we got
shoot or work.
Crander, I mean, we got to get together. It's been a while, my friend.
Crander.
The way he starts his TikToks. Hey.
Yeah, we got to get him. We got to get him on a episode of the Main Event Roundtable. It's been a minute because I know he's been working and stuff, so he hasn't really been recording.
It was him that I discovered you, Mike.
Wow.
It was through him I found you.
Yeah. Yep.
Right?
Yep, you're right. Yeah. So it's like we all just somehow just connected, man. We done met each other through somebody. So hey, that's what this wrestling community do, man. You know what I'm saying? And we just all having fun.
You gotta get that cheese head on here, man.
Hey man, I've been trying to get him on, but he's been a busy man, so I'm gonna try again. Definitely try.
I think in the summertime he's gonna start doing more appearances because I've been bugging him about coming on the No Cell Roundtable too.
Okay, sweet. So we definitely gonna have to get him on the Main Event Roundtable episode. So once again, fellas, I thank y'all. It's always a pleasure, talking wrestling with y'all. So for my guests, Samp from the Samp and Chance podcast, Professor Bear, Joe Monroe from WSN. I am also from WSN, Mike D from the Wrestling from the 313, and we are out. Peace.